we have for you guys. Now, before we do start, just a few information about the coffee that we provided for you. We decided to have you try three different flavors. And Umaga Blend 1 would be our light roast. The second one would be the single source Arabica, which is medium dark roast. And the other one is our Barako Blend. I know for some people, because coffee tasting is really purely subjective. It depends on what you think the taste is. But with these three different blends or three different types of coffee, we can almost certainly tell you that you can taste some of the difference and tell apart from one another. So just so you know, light roast coffee generally tends to be more on the sweeter side. It has a more tangy flavor, more citrusy. Medium roast coffee would be on your chocolatey side, almost caramel tasting. And then our Barako blend, you'll notice that this is our darker roast, and it'll be more richer and bolder in flavor. So we can proceed. If you can see on the other camera, it's focused on the three jars over here. We've already prepared a couple of them with the pour over on top. But essentially what we'll do, so we can try the three different blends, you simply really open up the pouch, and we'll find one of the blends inside. And then here it is. And then simply make sure that you're holding it. The top that says open here is on top, and that's where you tear the perforated area. Okay. And then simply pull out the tabs from the side and then hang it on your cup. Or in this scenario, it's a jar. That way we can see the coffee dripping. One of the things about pour over coffee is that it's essentially a brewing method, like your automatic drip coffee or espresso, French press. But one of the advantages of pour over coffee is that it highlights the quality of coffee. It gives you more flexibility in being able to control the temperature of the water and the speed on which you pour water into the coffee. Because the more the coffee saturates in water, the more flavor you're able to pull out from it. So now that we're ready, I have the coffee or the water right here. I set it up to 205 degrees Fahrenheit. And 205, because typically, ideally, if you drink coffee at 200 degrees Fahrenheit, that's where it's drinkable, versus it being too hot, where you have to tell yourself, hey, let's wait a little bit because the coffee's too hot. Well, it means that it's over 200 degrees Fahrenheit. But ideally, if you have something like this device that can control the temperature of coffee, that would be ideal. But again, it's not necessary. All right. So the first thing we do is to essentially, I like putting maybe an ounce of water for the very first time. And by doing that, it just kind of allows the coffee to just saturate in water and pull more of the flavor. And just wait for about 10, 15 seconds. And then you can slowly start pouring. You can pour it around. Making sure that you get all the coffee saturated with water. So then, this process just allows more flavor to come out from the coffee. And And you just do this process really for a few minutes until you reach approximately 8 ounces to start. Now, clearly this isn't going to be something that you'd want to do before maybe you're trying to hurry up and go to school or go to work. It's more of a moving process where you'd like to enjoy doing and not wanting to hurry up and get your coffee in there.
Maybe a date night.
Yeah.
And something where you could just chill and chat with your friends or your significant other.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy, quick question. Can people order the coffee online and have it shipped to them, the pour over?
Yes, absolutely. We do have, and if it's not, some of them might not be available currently, but we have received our shipments of coffee. So maybe in the next week, we should have it available on our website.
Okay, great. We'll put the website down there in the chat for everyone.
So, I remember having these when we were camping. It was a good experience to just do it outdoors. And, because of the pandemic too, we tend to just get our own coffee now wherever we go. So at this point, I was able to already pour about 6 to 8 ounces. And again, you can do with this, you can do up to maybe 12 ounces of water, depending on how strong you want your coffee to taste.
Question, what's in maybe you already mentioned this, but I see that it's the Umaga blend number 1. So did you taste test to get that? Like what made you say like, this is going to be like our house blend number 1?
So the way we started was we just try to put coffee blends together, not blends, but sources of coffee together, the beans. So our blend 1 is from an area called Bukod in the Philippines. It's Arabica beans. And then the other one is from an area called Mount Apo. So those were the beans that were more popular and available at that time for us. And we knew if we wanted to, utilize it and distribute it for purchase, it has to be readily available. So we started with those, and then we kind of try to put them together, and we found that that combination, and then it being light roast, it was something that we thought would taste good, and it did. We tried a few, but we tried this as dark roast, but the blend 1 we enjoyed it more as being the light roast version.
Awesome, that's great. I was curious. That's perfect.
So when you're done, you can just get some. So when you're done with what you think is the amount of water that you want, you can simply take out the packet and dispose it.
Are these recyclable too? It looks like they might be recyclable.
The pouches?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you can actually plant seed there if you want.
Okay, awesome.
All right, so by trying these, you can, it's almost like drinking wine, they said. You slurp it. That way it goes all around your taste buds and better appreciate and identify the taste with each one. So that's that with our pour over coffees. You can always put some sweetener with it, coffee or creamer or milk, half and half. Prior to this, I really enjoyed my coffee with some creamer, but I was able to train myself drinking coffee by itself. And that's where you can really appreciate the flavor in each one. So I hope you guys enjoy this. If you want to learn more of what we have, you can always ask us some questions later on.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. We're going to proceed with what everybody wants to see too, is how to make the Ube Jam.
Yay.
Okay, so it's my turn now. We're going to be making our jam. So before we proceed, I'd like to make sure that you guys have all the ingredients ready. I want to make sure that your ube is already out of the package, and make sure that it's not frozen, it's soft, because it will be hard to cook when it's frozen. So this is the 16 ounces grated ube. And then make sure that you have killed your butter. And of course, you have to make sure that you open your condensed milk and evaporated milk can, and make sure that you do it safely, because I don't want you to get hurt. So while you're doing that, I'm gonna give you a little bit of background about ube, why it's so popular. First of all, ube in Filipino means purple. So there you go. So if you want to learn Tagalog word, ube means purple. So ube is actually a purple yam that is popular in the Philippines, and they're popular in Filipino cuisine because we use it as dessert. And purple yam usually is mistakenly identified as other root vegetable. So I just wanted to give you some pictures. I'm going to show you some pictures of other vegetable that they think that it's ube. So first, I'm going to show you ube. This is the how ube looks like. It has a thick brown skin and then purple in the inside. And when you compare it to taro, this is taro. Taro has the same skin, but the inside is white. So ube is not taro. And sometimes they think that ube is purple sweet potato. This is it, but it's not. That's not ube. I don't know if it's clear. And then sometimes they label this as ube, which is the purple. This is a Okinawan purple potato. So this is ube.
I know sometimes it's really hard to tell, and if you start cutting it in the middle and you see it purple, then you automatically think maybe that it's ube.
Okay. So I think you should be ready.
Okay. Yeah, let's get going.
Right. So, okay. So the first step, I know for those of you that had their kit, I actually printed out a recipe just in case there's any problems with connection or you miss a step, you would still be able to follow along. So the first thing that we're going to do, of course, is every time we cook, we have to wash our hands, which I did already before that. And now we have our stove. We have to turn it to a low to medium heat. And make sure that your ingredients are here close by. So while waiting for our pot to heat up, again, just wanted to additional information. Purple yam or starchy root vegetable, and they're good source of antioxidant and vitamins. So, do you have any additional information?
I grew up in the Philippines, and it's just something that I really enjoyed eating.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why we were into this, because Whenever we visited a few places in the Philippines for vacation, that's also where they would produce the very fine tasting ube too. So and it's something that we missed and wanted to bring out here in the US. So hopefully we can share a good quality ube with everyone.
Yeah, so ube's taste is mellow sweet. It's similar to vanilla and it has a nutty taste. So if you notice, if you look up some recipes online, they use coconut milk, but I decided not to do the coconut milk because I want to highlight the ube flavor. Because sometimes when you use coconut milk, it actually takes over the taste of ube, and sometimes other people doesn't really like coconut, so it actually hides the taste of ube. So
Nina H asked if ube is native to the Philippines.
yes, yeah.
Interestingly, when we look this up, it is really something that is almost what they say is originally from the Philippines, the ube. And there could be some areas in Southeast Asia to start off with that might have something similar or is the same. But so far, from what we learned as we were looking into this, is that ube is actually originally from the Philippines.
Yes, so you can actually make this a plant-based jam. So all you have to do is substitute the evaporated milk to coconut milk, and you can use coconut milk, coconut condensed milk, and then of course the plant-based butter. So it's the same thing. You just have to substitute it, and then you could use organic vanilla that you can find if you want to make it vegan. Because I have friends that are plant-based vegan, and I make this for them too. So
someone asked if that the coconut milk adds coconut flavor. What's another plant-based alternative? Are there other ones that you suggest?
I would say oat, because oat milk it's close to the flavor profile of ube. That's why when we make ube milk, it's actually the oat milk. So it actually blends well, and it actually accentuates more of the ube flavor.
Oh, that's cool. I love oat milk. I know it's hard to find. There's a shortage right now, but it's good stuff.
Yeah. I haven't tried using cashew milk, to be honest, but I've used soy milk. So I think our pot is already warm. So we're gonna go ahead and put our butter. So 1 block of butter or 1/2 cup of butter. So we're gonna put it in the pot and let's make it melt, and make sure that it's not too hot so we don't burn the butter. I think my stove is a little slow, so
Increase the temperature on this. And while we're doing this too, if you guys have any questions, we'll definitely look out and see if somebody's
So I use the unsalted butter.
Someone asked, what is your favorite way to use ube jam?
Oh, we use ube jam for a lot of things. So we use it for our donuts, and we use it as a topping for pancakes. We use it to like a spread for our bread.
Yeah.
And we'll show you that later. I have bread ready here.
Mm-hmm.
So now that our butter is melted, we're gonna go ahead and put our ube.
I, on the other hand, when this is all done, I just put my spoon in there and eat it straight up.
That's exactly what Alvin from New York City said. He says, eat it with a spoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just make sure that you mix it really well so the water and the ube will mix well. And then once it's mixed,
Harmony
Then I
asked
said it-
how much ube. Harmony asked how much ube did you add?
oh, the whole 16 ounces of ube.
16 ounces. Okay.
And then we're gonna add the evaporated milk, where we're gonna use half of the 12 ounces evaporated milk, so that's 6 ounces. I don't want the ube to be too thin and watery, so I'm only gonna use half of it.
Was this ube boiled and grounded before?
Yes. Yeah. So everyone that got their the ube kit, they already had it grated and cooked ahead of time. So it makes it easier. But if you have fresh ube, you have to boil it just like when you boil taro, and then you have to grate it. And then if you use I got question regarding powder ube that you can get it from Amazon or the Asian store. Yeah, you can use that, but I really don't recommend it because it's really grainy. So you have to rehydrate it before you use it. So the whole packet is, I think it's 16 ounces. You have to add four cups of water overnight to make sure that it's rehydrated, because if you don't do that, it's gonna be grainy, so you won't be able to enjoy it really well. So add a little bit more. So that's half of the evaporated milk. And now I'm gonna add the condensed milk. So this is 14 ounces, and we're gonna use all of that.
And this is also the one that they can switch it off with
Yeah,
coconut.
coconut
Condensed milk.
condensed milk.
I didn't catch that question.
What's the question?
No,
Is the stove still on? Yes.
yes.
Yeah, we have to keep our stove still on, and we have to keep it medium heat.
Colleen asked, what is mixed ube powder and purple sweet potato would be a good replacement?
Is it the powder that she was asking?
Yeah, so basically you can actually get a frozen ube from Filipino or Asian market, because sometimes it's hard to find fresh ube. So if you can't find that one, because you have to order either, I think sometimes they come from Florida, they come from Hawaii. So if you can't find the fresh ones from Asian market, they have frozen ube in the frozen section. So we just keep our stove on. And now that we have the milk, all the milk in there, we're gonna add our extracts. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and put our ube extract and the vanilla extract.
Are these optional?
The vanilla is optional. I just added to make sure that it tastes good, because the flavor profile is similar to ube, so that's why I added the vanilla. But you don't really have to use vanilla if you don't want to. And then just mix it until the color is even. So we'll just have to let this ube cook for at least 20 to 30 minutes. And make sure that you occasionally stir it so it won't stick at, the ube won't stick at the bottom. So you're gonna be able to, the longer the ube is on the stove, it's gonna get thicker. So it will be your preference whether you want it thinner or a thicker jam. Some of our customers, they want it really thin so it's easy to spread on their bread. Some of them want it really thick, so they have to cook it longer. So it's your preference whether you want it thick or thin in consistency.
Somebody asked if we wanted, or do you recommend it to be stirring continuously or intermittent?
And occasionally.
Occasionally.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess at this point, it's mainly waiting for the ube to cook for about 20 minutes, right? With occasionally stirring it. And we can do that. And if you have any questions too, we'll be able to address at this time.
So do we not want it to get boiling, right? We don't want it to see any like bubbles up there. We just want it to get kind of warm.
No, we want it to boil.
We want it to boil. Okay.
We want it to boil, but my stove is a little slow. Yeah.
This is our portable stove for demonstration.
Yeah, but if you're on your stove top, I think it's faster. The flame is faster than a portable one.
So right now, you can actually see it start to slowly boil.
Yeah. So someone's asking me about my shirt, my calamansi shirt. So I got it from Sarap Teas. So you can check their Instagram, and you can see other Filipino flavor shirt.
They have ube too.
Yeah, they have ube too. So they have a beanie, ube beanie.
Yeah.
What do your shirts mean? What are the sayings?
Oh, this calamansi is our Philippine line.
Yeah, you should try that. That's another one that we have.
I feel the ube sticking a little bit at the bottom, so make sure that it doesn't stick, so it doesn't get burned. You don't want to burn jam.
And how long are they able to keep this?
So the ube jam is good for 7 to 10 days. It has to be refrigerated because if you leave it on room temperature, it can go bad, can be spoiled, taste sour. So.
Christina's asking if she should stir until all the lumps are gone, or just
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Would a whisk maybe be like a good utensil to use, or okay?
I use the spoon or a spatula. So.
Yeah, spatulas. I love a good spatula. Roxy's asking she says hers is a little lighter in color. Is that normal?
Yes, it probably is the ube extract that's not added well.
Did she get an ube extract?
Roxy, did you get the extract as well? Let us know.
I forgot to add it. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
Somebody said that theirs is a little thick and a bit lumpy.
Okay, so if it's thick and lumpy, make sure that you stir it real well, and probably yours is done. Because mine.
Maybe they need some milk too, like the. I saw it on the comment.
Oh, okay. So ours, the one, if you pick up your kit from us, it would be really graded really well. But if you steam and prepare your own ube, it probably is a little lumpy. So you could use that potato masher.
make it really
Smooth.
yeah.
Yeah. Smooth.
This is starting to thicken now, huh?
Yeah.
So what are you guys' favorite things to kind of put this on? We talked a little bit about it, but like, what are your personal favorites?
Oh,
My personal favorite is that I make it into our ube milk. I know a lot of our friends, customers, they like the ube milk. So what I do is I use a 1/4 cup of the ube jam, and I add the oat milk and a sweetener of choice. So if you want condensed milk, if you want coconut condensed milk, if you want it to be vegan, or whatever sugar you want to add, you could put that in the blender and mix it. And that's my favorite. And I top it with the whipped cream. So I don't know if you've seen that post on my Instagram page. I have posted that, and that has been one of my popular products to sell.
Depending on the consistency too, on how you make this, like I've seen her use this to put on top of your vanilla ice cream, for example, just additional flavor to it, and especially now that it's summer's coming up, then everybody would want to have something cold, so it's something that you can have on top of your ice cream.
That would be really pretty too.
Yeah, vanilla ice cream is good because they have the same flavor profile. Mine is just starting to get thicker. And we use this one to top our donuts as well.
Yeah.
So if you see our post, whatever is in the middle is the ube jam.
Starting to
Do you smell? Do you smell it? Yes, if you see a lot of bubbles, just start to stir it. That means it's starting to thicken. So you can mix it as you go. You don't really have to wait till. Yeah, actually, you have to constantly stir it now. Because mine is bubbling right here.
You can lower the.
Yeah, I have to add it to. I mean, I have to increase the heat to high because mine still is really slow. But you have to keep it at medium heat so you don't burn the bottom.
I'm more of the end product guy who just eats what she makes. It's there.
We have our children.
Our kids are watching us too, waiting for the Ube Jam to finish.
What are your kids' favorite things that you guys have on the menu?
Oh, well, my daughter, she loves our ube pandesal, the one that has. So pandesal is basically a dinner roll that we have in the Philippines. We call it pandesal, and although here it's more referred to as dinner roll, but we have it in the morning, and we can either put cheese in it, and ours we have our ube flavored pandesal. So my daughter loves that one. My son, he's more of the donut guy. the ube donuts that my wife makes, which are all we're here at our cafe right now. Although we're not open yet, we're definitely gonna be able to serve that once we open. Once everything is all done with building and inspection. So hopefully you can all come visit us.
Yeah. So what's the status on opening day? Like, I know everyone keeps asking.
Yeah. Well,
waiting.
It's we're getting there for sure. We're moving forward. We've just gone through a couple of inspections that were approved. So we're just entering the final inspection now with building and fire, and hopefully everything helps. So hopefully in a couple of weeks, that all happens, and if they say that we're good to go, then possibly by mid-June we can start doing a soft opening. But although they said that don't expect to pass the first time, so we'll see. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, that'll be great. That's it. I know you've got quite the following that have from the pop-ups and everything. It's been a long road.
It has been, but we're just very thankful for everyone who's been supporting us all throughout, and just encouraging us to stay in there and enjoy the journey, basically.
Yeah. Someone asked if you can bake with the jam, and yeah, so you can put that in the middle of like donuts and stuff, so you can bake with it.
Yes. I add the puree, not the jam, the puree in the donut, but I use the jam in the middle to fill it.
Ah.
Like the center of the donut, you see the purple filling right there. That's Ube Jam.
And she, when we first started, even during the middle, she would be making cakes and using the jam as a layering on each cake.
So if you want to make, let's say, just a regular cake, you want to layer it, I use the jam instead of making my own buttercream. I use the jam to make it as like the layering. Are yours thick yet?
Christina asks what your favorite items that you offer in store and online.
What are your favorite items?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Yeah. What are your favorite items that you offer in store and online?
Okay, so
Well, I love coffee, so that's something that I personally like, and both are able to offer online and in-house. The coffee beans that we have, we do have some ube cookies as well, which I like to snack on. How about you? I love everything that she prepares me too, and I'm biased, but it is true. I love the donuts and the pandesal that she makes with the cheese in the middle. That's something that you guys should try.
So
how about you? What's your favorite?
My favorite is the ube mochi muffin. I don't know if you have tried that one. It's basically it has the same ube puree and
Yeah. I think we lost you, Mackenzie.
so the ube mochi muffin is crusty outside, but it's chewy inside. It's not the same as the regular mochi that you probably see in Asian store. Ours is more of like a bread muffin, crusty outside but chewy inside. And it has.
Oh, go ahead.
All right, and we topped it with white chocolate and some ube cookie crumbles.
That sounds delicious.
So that's like butter mochi?
I'm
Is
sorry.
that like butter mochi?
It's similar to that, but butter mochi I think is more like the soft, chewy. But ours is like it's like a blend of bread and mochi. So it's not really like chewy, soft.
It's kind of there's crust outside.
Yeah, it's like
kind of,
a little crusty muffinish outside.
yeah, but inside is the chewy portion of it.
Where can we buy ube extract? Do you have that in your store?
So you can buy it online in Amazon. You can go to a Filipino or Asian market. So if you're here in Bakersfield, Asia Market, they have it too. So
That is
and I use the brand Butterfly.
And they have options to buy it in maybe a couple of ounces,
Yes.
up to
like big ones.
chores. So depending on how often you're going to use it, they have a couple of different options.
I think we're close to the consistency alike. So
Do you like it thicker, or do you like it thicker? Like the
I
jam?
like it a little, because you know the ube can actually settle after it cools down. So don't make it too thick because you have to use a scooper to get it out. So it's better to not make it too thick, unless you want it that thick actually. So because you could scoop it and top it on your ice cream, but if you want it as a spread, it has to be a little thinner, so it's easier for you to spread it on the bread.
No.
I think I'm okay with this one for me, because this is the consistency that I use for baking. But again, the longer you keep it on the stove, the thicker it can get, and it's your preference this time. So I can actually turn it off when I get the bread.
So, and this is just our preference, or at least my preference. We use the Hawaiian bread from.
Yeah.
Those are good.
Yeah, because it's sweet.
Yeah, but you can essentially use any bread that you prefer. So yeah, so this is just one of the ways that you can use the jam, is to spread it on top of your bread. Again, earlier we talked about us using it on top of pancakes. Just being creative with it, really. You can find, or if you find other ways on how to use it, let us know. We'd be happy to try it out.
Does anyone?
I have other suggestion. Can you use that? Can you see that again? This one right here. Okay. So during the pandemic, when we were doing curbside, I would come up with some, ideas just to become creative, because sometimes, people get tired of just seeing ube. So what I did was I didn't have a sample, but you could put graham crackers, the graham cracker crumbs on the bottom, and then you put the ube jam. And then if you're a coconut person, you can put coconut or makapuno, or the coconut sport. Then you can put cheese on top, and that's your dessert.
Graham crackers.
Yeah, graham crackers at the bottom. It's just
Fresh?
graham cracker crumbs, and you could add ube, and then cheese, and sometimes I add white chocolate chili. So you can be creative because ube is really good. So it's also good with cheese. Cheese. Try it. You can be creative.
Vivian is asking what kind of cheese. What kind of cheese is the ube jam good on?
Usually the cheddar